Alright guys, it has now been 6 days since this fateful CS2 update, Season 2, Episode 1 that they tweeted out on July 15th at 8:03 p.m., at least my time zone on the Eastern time. And obviously this was a historic CS2 update. This is one that will be remembered forever. You know, people are going to remember this date, people are going to remember this update. It changed trading, it changed the CS2 markets, it changed the CS2 economies. And after the first couple days, the markets weren't really reacting a ton. We didn't really know what the heck was going on, but now we were finally starting to see the real, at least short-term repercussions of all this, and the markets are not responding very positively. But in this video today, we're going to be talking about what the heck is going on and what to do from here. Today's video is sponsored by Skins Monkey, an automated CS2 trading platform where you can turn your skins into new ones simple and easy. All you have to do is click on the skins that you want to get rid of, click on the skins that you want, and then click trade item. Now, if you don't have enough balance for the items you want, you can use code GERM to get up to $5 free bonus on your first trade. You can also use that same code GERM to get a 5% extra deposit bonus on top of the 30% deposit bonus that Skins Monkey is already offering. So there's really no reason to not go check out Skins Monkey with that first link in the description below today. So honestly, I thought this was really interesting and kind of funny and frustrating that after this update dropped, I made a couple of videos. I made one video talking about how skin prices were dropping and the whole kind of market in general was dropping. And then I also made a video specifically about how cases were dropping. And I got so many comments on those videos being like, oh, little bro, this isn't a crash. Nothing's even barely happening. Or people just straight up saying that the market wasn't crashing, that prices weren't falling, that things weren't going down because this one item on this one market, or, you know, this case or Dreams and Nightmares case on Steam is at an all-time high or whatever. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But I was literally showing you guys screenshots, literally showing you guys market data, literally showing you things that were happening. One, it was an extremely volatile time. Stuff was up, stuff was down, stuff was sideways, stuff was all over the place. But also, I even said in the video, there are so many different fragmented CS2 marketplaces. You have Float, you have Buff, you have, you know, Steam, you have all these different trading sites and everything in between where markets were having different reactions. People were moving at different paces, but what we were seeing mostly over on Buff 163 was prices dropping. There was, you know, instantly the listing prices were automatically going down, the sale prices were going down, the buy orders were going down. People in China and Buff 163 in general, they're one, the site with the most liquidity, and two, the site that kind of reacts the fastest. We kind of get the most harsh reactions, but things going on over there. And most people were just turning a blind eye to that. Most people were like, oh, those are just, you know, little Chinese paper-handed pussies or whatever. Or they were like, oh, what do I care? I don't even use Buff 163. I'm not Chinese. I trade on Steam. And look, Dreams and Nightmares at an all-time high on Steam. Like, and I didn't even respond to most of these comments. I wasn't going to fight with people. I didn't really care. I didn't really argue because I just wanted to wait and see. We were going to see what the heck happened. And obviously, yeah, some stuff was at all-time highs here and, you know, weekly lows or monthly lows there and whatever. But now we are finally seeing things, pretty much everything, drop all across the board. Now, hey, I'm sure there's some random item or some random case or some random skin that's still at all-time highs or still doing well or whatever, but this is what the latest CS2 trending market cap looks like on Price Empire. We are down 11% in the past 7 days. We are down almost 12% from all-time highs, and this is now what the yearly graph looks like for the CS2 market. So there's a couple things you need to keep in mind here. One, we are still up in 2025. 2025 has still been a great year overall. Obviously, right now, there is a lot of panic, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of people who don't necessarily like the direction that CS2 investing, CS2 trading, CS2 economies, all that stuff is heading, but everything is going to be okay. And hey, in this opportunity and in every opportunity throughout CS history, every time there's been a new change, every time there's been a new update, every time Valve has killed trading or killed investing or tried to kill their own game or whatever, it has always come back. It has always been an amazing time to buy. It has always been an extremely profitable time to buy. And it has been where literally a lot of people have gotten rich. I know I talked about it in the last video, but I have had messages and I've had talks with people who have paid off, you know, bought a motorcycle in cash from their CS2 investments, who have put a, you know, bought a car cash off their CS2 investments, that have put a down payment on a house from their CS2 investments, that have paid off their student loans. Like, people have done a lot of amazing things. And a lot of times it has been people who have held through major crashes, held through major dips, continued buying, continued, you know, believing in CS2 and the CS2 game and the CS2 economy, whatever. And yeah, right now there is a dip, but guess what? CS2 is still a great game. It is still one of the best esports out there, still one of the best games out there, still one of the best gaming communities out there. And the CS2 economy is still truly something very amazing that is, you know, pointing up in the long-term direction. Again, we're still up on the year, even though we've had this very big dip. Now, again, what I was saying is it's pretty interesting. We got this update on July 15th, and hey, this is July July 15th, we were at 5.1 billion. We did get a little bit of a jump up to like 5.13 billion on the 16th, but pretty much after that, as soon as the 17th, just 2 days later, and honestly, these updates come out late at night, so this is like not less than 48 hours later, we started to see a drop off, and then things have just kind of collapsed from there. We're down to 4.5 billion. We haven't really seen these prices since May, which has only been 2 months. Again, these are the prices we were at 2 months ago, and kind of, more so even the prices that we were at in like January, February, March, whatever. Looks like more March or April. So again, it's only been a couple months since we've seen these prices. Obviously, you don't like things to go down. You want things to be going up that you are investing in, but there's also an amazing time to buy the dip. There's so many people who have seen case prices or skin prices or whatever exploding over the past couple months, and they're like, damn, I should have bought more, or I wish I would have bought more, or, I can't believe I didn't, put an extra 1,000 or an extra 5,000 or an extra $100 or whatever into this. Now you literally have the opportunity to go back and buy at some of those prices, because we can look at what's been going on with a lot of these items. Now, again, I do think that during dips, it's an important time to buy. Now, I'm not one that believes in timing markets or, waiting for dips or anything like that. I think waiting for dips is a very stupid strategy. I think it's a great way to, miss out on a lot of gains, a great way to lose a lot of money. But I am somebody that believes, during dips, you should try to get a little bit more aggressive. Whatever your baseline investment strategy is, if you just do, if you're always buying good stuff, but then you get a little bit more aggressive during dips, you're going to turn out, doing very, very well. Dips are definitely where people are made rich. Now, hey, investing during the other times, during, sideways markets or all-time highs, or when markets are doing good, whatever, that's going to be your bread and butter, but you're literally going to get those outsized gains, those outsized returns during market dips, during times like these, when you can see so much red across the board. You can see all the top market cap items in CS2 right now are down 8, 9, 7, 10, 12% for Sport Glove Superconductor. We have 10% for the Desert Eagle Blaze. We have 12% for some other gloves. We have 11% for Karambit Doppler Phase 1. So many different things are down right now. And so many great items. Vulcan is an amazing AK. The Howls, obviously an amazing M4. We have, the Dragon Lore. Not down as bad as some other stuff. 2%. Dragon Lore is something that's always going to be a little bit more stable. Blue Phosphor, one of my favorite skins in the game, down 10%. M4 Print Stream, one of my favorite skin lines in the whole game, down 9%. Gunganir, down 4%. Hot Rod, down 8%. It's been one of the hottest items in the market recently. So a ton of just awesome buying opportunities. We also take a look at the case market. Again, I still think it's important that even during dips, even though there's a lot of opportunities right now, there's a lot of different ways you can go. A ton of stuff is down. There's a ton of different places you could be putting your money. I still believe in always buying the best stuff always. Now, hey, what's the best stuff can change. Market dynamics can change, whatever. But Valve made a couple different changes during this update. Obviously, they made how money can move around. They slowed down that process a lot. And that's honestly why I think we've dipped a little bit. Right now, when somebody makes a trade, they have to wait 7 days for that money, before they actually have access to that money, before they can buy something else. Before, you could sell your stuff, you'd have the money, you could buy something different, and the money moved very, very fast. We could see volumes and prices and liquidity and everything moving quick. Now, everything has slowed down a lot. Now, obviously, in the long term, I still think people are going to find ways to trade. People are going to find ways to open cases. People are going to find ways to do investing, whatever. And after this first 7 days, then we'll have, some more money in the markets and money moving. But right now, a lot of money is tied up. A lot of money is frozen. A lot of people have sold stuff, but they can't buy that next thing yet, which could definitely be making prices drop a little bit. People are panicking. People are uncertain of the future, and uncertainty is not good for markets. But again, I still do think even during times of uncertainty, even during times of dips, even during times of crashes, and things could get worse from here. We could drop another 10, 15, 20, 25%. Who knows? But guess what? I'm going to buy the dip, and if the dip dips, I'm buying the dip, and I'm buying the dip, whatever. You can always buy more. You should have, some strategy of every paycheck or every other paycheck or once a month or once every 3 months or whatever. You should have a consistent buying strategy, and then you're going to be able to get, better and better prices if things do continue to dip. But during dips, you still need to buy the good stuff. You still need to buy the best stuff. You still need to keep your eye on, the things that are actually going to rebound fast, things that are actually going to go up good. And for me, that's cases. For me, it's filler skins from, popular trade-ups. It's skins from rare or discontinued cases. Those are things that I'm going to be focusing on. I'm not necessarily looking at capsules just yet. I'm not necessarily looking at knives or gloves or high-tier skins or whatever. I want to get the stuff that I like the most. And again, cases, over the last 30 days, cases have had some crazy drops. Here is the biggest case drops over the past 30 days. We see Gamma 2 down, 22% in the last 30 days. Gamma 1 down 20%. Falchion, Chroma 2, Operation Broken Fang, Spectrum, Shadow, Chroma 3, Operation Wildfire, Chroma, whatever. These are down massive in the past 24 hours. We can also sort this and see what's been going down. Clutch Case down 16%. Gamma 2, Gamma Snakebite down 12.5%. Again, I recently just purchased 8,000 Snakebite cases, or I don't know, maybe 7,000 or 6,000, something like that. I'm in the process of buying 8,000 Snakebite cases. We're down 12% on that. So, I own a lot of cases. I have tens of thousands of dollars of cases. The entire case market dropping 12, 11, 10%, whatever. That hurts me in the short term. That does suck. But obviously some big advice is don't check the markets every day. Don't check prices every day. Don't look at stuff like that. We are zooming out. We are in the long term. We are in the long run. And guess what? Cases are still up amazingly in 2025. Cases have been an amazing investment. Cases are still going to be an amazing investment. And somebody like me who's still actively buying, still trying to actively accumulate cases and still actively build up my portfolio to hopefully become rich and make a lot of money one day, drops like this are important. They are the best. Again, this is where you get rich. This is where you accumulate. This is where you get a ton of assets. So then once we get back to all-time highs, you actually have a lot of stuff going up in price. That's how you make money. So cases are going down, skins are going down, everything's going down right now. Like literally, it's hard to find stuff that is up over the past week, over the past 30 days, whatever. So it's a great time to buy. Now I'm going to be buying a ton of stuff. I'll have more videos about what I think is the best things to buy the dip, all that good stuff. We have Corb CS, he said, decided to touch grass for a long weekend. Market decided to take a dump in the meantime. It should be expected since sellers can't spend any of their balance until the reversal period expires, so listings aren't being bought up as quickly. There's also the factor of people dooming and worrying about prices, changes, and trying to quick sell, undercutting each other. Prices can tank fast in these situations. UU also shows the amount of listings for each item day by day, and since the trade protected items update, the listings have increased significantly, so of course, price drop is reflected. Again, a lot of people are selling right now. In my opinion, it's a good time to buy. We do have Zipple chiming in on this as well. Obviously, very, very respected person in the CS economy scene. CS market is down. It is Monday. Rest day in the Tour de France. British Open is finished. Scheffler won. No tier 1 games to watch today. Go outside. Market is down following a historical peak in liquidity paired with lots of items being bought out systematically. The trade reversal update has effectively created a liquidity crunch with all funds from sales being blocked for a week. The delayed effect of funds being blocked are now showing. To put it in perspective, all funds from the last 5 days of sales on especially Buff and UPIN are still held in escrow. Whilst not being a guarantee, it seems plausible that the market will begin to find its footing day by day as liquidity is gradually restored. I agree with that. The market liquidity is entirely dependent on Chinese platforms. As for Western markets, the approach is almost entirely impossible. Instead, I expect to see whitelisting of specific trusted users. Larger traders with strong relationships to particular marketplaces will be allowed cash up front. That would be awesome. I would love to be, one of the people involved in that. Currently, the skins that got aggressively bought out recently are suffering the most. So, again, Zipple seems long-term bullish. He thinks everything's going to be okay. But he is saying right now could literally be the peak dip. And I believe that, too. You might have to act fast because, like I said, as funds come back in the market, as funds become active once again, I think we could see prices rebound. And, yeah, things usually do bounce back fast. Besides trading getting fucked by the amazing new update, I'm also down 10% on everything. Wex, obviously a big trader, big guy in the scene, all that stuff. People are down bad. If you bought a Stiletto Tiger Tooth anytime in the last 6 months, you are now down at least 10%. I can't wait for the forum threads from people who've bought items on a site, reverse trade for whatever reason, are now upset the site isn't refunding them. They can't trade for 30 days. I think there's going to be a lot of people that get burned by stuff like this. And I think as time goes on, more and more, we're going to be less worried, less concerned, less, fearful of trade reversals because I think they are, going to be required to be a thing that's only used in emergencies. Otherwise, yeah, people are going to get banned. People are going to have all these effects. Now, again, another thing is we have seen the average player base drop under 1 million. That's obviously not great for prices. It's obviously not great for, economies and stuff like that. But hey, again, we are still up massively from year over year numbers. We've gone from 880,000 to 875,000, 945,000. That's great. We always see a little slowdown in summer though too. But we're also up massively from the beginning of the year where we had 914,000 average players. We're up to 946 now. And again, this is also during a bottom where, hey, we'll have to see when things actually start coming back. But it also incentivizes Valve to put out some kind of big major update to get the player base excited once again, get back on people's good side. Second wave of price drop. Again, you see stuff like the Desert Eagle Blaze that's dropping down pretty hard. So there's a lot of panic in the market now. There's a lot of blood in the streets. But again, you need to be greedy when others are fearful. And if you have money sitting on the sidelines right now, it could be an amazing time to buy. And it could be a time that you use this opportunity to maybe get a little bit richer in the future. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.